Oh, let's go! Sup? Hey, I'm just letting the algorithm catch up because I posted my show super late. And I'm letting you know right now, no matter how famous I get, no matter how many followers I get, this is going to be my show. You're not going to suddenly see super graphics and all this other nonsense and a ticker explaining everything that's going on in the world. No! You get me and this. Let me not get ahead of myself. Woo. Often imitated, never duplicated. That fool with no hair that shouts like Ric Flair. Woo! What? You heard me. The R8RBEAR! Raiders! Alexa, hush. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. I apologize for yesterday's interruptance. We had a little bit of a power surge problem, and it completely shut down my computer. And inadvertently, somehow I got kicked out of my program too. So even though I got it back up, that didn't sound right. Even though I got it back up. Let me say that again. Even though we figured out the problem and got the power back on, the program had kicked me out, and I didn't have the old passwords and blah, blah, blah. And so I had to go about some homework to get back onto my stuff. And Tradish! R8RBEAR Live! First comment, woo! MVP tonight on YouTube goes to Mr. Emoji himself, Mark Vargas! That's right, Jim. And we have a little bit of an upset tonight because your monkey shut your mouth got caught slipping. Because, oh yeah, I've tried to get you early a few times, and you've been worried about whether you'd still be at work. Oh, I might be coming back late from church. Well, I waited until the last half an hour. Throw a little wrench into your game there. Oh, and it worked, let's be honest. Second place, my silver medal goes to the World Heavyweight Champion, Jim Vanderland, who came in second tonight. No, look, don't be mad at me about it. Appreciate you, brother. Third place, my bronze medal goes to Ramiro. Woo! Probably watching me on both. Castro. Trademarked. He's probably half as famous as you are, Ramiro, with the exact same, nickname. Come on. Your brother's, imposing on your stuff at this point. You should just have it trademarked. It's not that expensive. I know, I did. Moving on. Facebook. Here we go. And now, our winner, our gold medalist on Facebook. With yet another upset, the young and up-and-coming star. That is Lucky Pace. Lucky, you need to stop it. You just rampaging through my medal round. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to get kicked out like that. You know what Lucky did? All he did was decide to take this medal round seriously. That's all this is. I'm serious. All I did was say it's difficult, and he went, hold my beer. And now he's coming for Dustin King. And Dustin King needs to understand that at this point, because he's such a young upstart champion, I'm probably going to have him put the belt up here because Lucky's making a real charge, and I'm impressed. Second place, my silver medal goes to, and you guys know I love it when a Raiderette slides into the sausage fest that is my medal round, referred to as such because there's so many dudes. Well, yeah! Corinna! Woo! Hello! She's just synonymous with the bells now. What's up, girl? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you breaking up the monotony of my medal round. There she is anyway. Corinna always looking out for Raider Bear and Raider Bear Familia page. Appreciate you so much. And remember, stars contributed to the show go directly to charities like the Kind Fund, Kids in Need of Desks, at which one time we had made a pledge to contribute at least 13 kids to go to school. We ended up finishing with 28, so we were really proud of that. Also, Punks for Autism, near and dear to our hearts. We have family members, both in my own roof and in my family's, that deal with autism. It's a very tough thing to deal with. Shout out to Roberto Gonzalez, if you're watching. Love you, brother. His daughter suffers that, and I'm just getting to where we're going to start kind of talking about it because she's really young. And so, yeah, he's going through the tough part right now, but I got you, brother. We're going to be there. Don't you worry about that. Third place, my bronze medal, another Raiderette, Tony! Woo! Carpenter Evans! Permission to come aboard granted, girl. Air Force in the house, not the Navy. I just want to make sure the distinction's there, okay? She's Air Force. Don't get it twisted. I know how you military people are. You always act like, oh, I'm Air Force. Don't you dare mix me up with Army. And then Army says, don't you dare me mix up with those flyboys. And they all take shots at each other. It's crazy. Carlos Magana, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Appreciate you tuning in. John the Lion, Leon, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Carlton Willis, 305, Arnfrell, Miami in the house. What's up, Carlton? Welcome to the show. If you're a new viewer, welcome to the show. Appreciate the love. Denton Rhodes, Space Force. Denton, I don't know if you're on at the end of the show, but I say it every time now. Stephen Shaw, what's up? Welcome to the show. Jesse Figueroa, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. I'm doing good. Troy Gill. What's up, Troy? Good to see you, brother. Michael A. Parker Sr. Let's see. Glad you back up and running. What do you think of the wide receiver room after the latest signing? And who are your starters day one? Well, we'll just go past Devontae because, I got Devontae. And any talk about him being traded is silly, especially when you consider the Raiders are on the uptick. You know what I mean? You go to the Jets, you don't know what you're going to get. You know what I mean? Because there was a lot of rumors of him trying to rejoin his former quarterback and so on. So, no, not seeing that. Okay, so anyway, Devontae Adams is your one. Now, as far as your number two, you're thinking Jacoby Myers. And so am I. But when you signed Guyton, now that starts to, now you have to wonder where that's going to go. Because Guyton's legitimate. You know what I mean? He's legitimate. This is the kid we just picked up. Hang on, let me. I have his. Where'd it go? Jalen Guyton. Just real quick. I wanted to make this point. He was a native of Allen, Texas, okay? And he played for 2 seasons at North Texas. But prior to that, he played for Notre Dame in 2015. Then he played for Trinity Valley Community College, guys, in 2016. Now, ladies and guys, I don't know how many of you know this, but as a rule, when you're trying to make it to the NFL, you go to Notre Dame and then you go backwards to a community college. I mean, if I had heard that was where he was in his life, I would have said, oh, there's no way that guy's going to the NFL. Not from a community college. And then he speeds that up, gets to North Texas, and then finishes his last 2 seasons at North Texas. Gets picked in the 4th round by the Chargers. Not bad. Okay, now, while he was in school, he played in 26 games for North Texas. He posted 103 catches, 1,580 yards, and 15 touchdowns. So he showed some potential there. He's 6'1", 212 pounds. So I really like his build because I'm 6'3". I walk around at about 200, 188, 200. I fluctuate a lot because of my diet. But at my heaviest, I walked around at 215. This guy's 210 at wide receiver. That's pretty good size for a wideout. So, and it's 6'1". He's got some strength. So I think the battle there could be interesting. And then you add Michael Gallup on a 1-year, $3 million deal. So it cost us nothing to get a guy who has, all pro potential. When he was with Dallas, he kind of got put on the back burner by some of the other guys they had there. But, and a little bit of injuries did that to himself too. But now he's healthy, and he's going to get a chance to show his worth with us. Carlos Magana Jr. said, I like your YouTube podcast, and I mostly watch you here. Right on. Appreciate that. Raider Ryan, what's up? Welcome to the show. Tommy, I appreciate you and Mom checking up on me the other day. I appreciate that. I'm sorry if I didn't get back to your post, but I did see it. I was just super busy. John Raider Ivy, I see you, brother. What's up? Joey Rivera, how you doing, man? Welcome to the show. Hello, Bear. What do you think of the Jamarcus Russell interview on Pivot Podcast? He looked coked out and real defensive douchebag, blaming the Raiders for his downfall. Joey, honestly, I did catch some of that. I did not watch it all because, the things you said right there. I mean, but to be quite honest with you, it was to be expected. He is a guy who's fallen, but it has never gotten back up, and he's never going to get back up. He was actually granted an opportunity to come back to the Raiders facility, and this was a while back. It was like 7, 8 years. It wasn't quite that long. It was about 4 years ago, I think. About 4 years ago. 4, maybe 5 years ago. And he was given an opportunity, and it was humiliating. He was out of shape. He just looked terrible. And he had no business even being given the opportunity because he clearly didn't take it seriously. Because if you get an opportunity and you show up and you fail, that's fine. But if you get an opportunity and you show up out of shape, I have a problem with that. Because in your mind, you have to know in your mind, in your heart of hearts, you have to know the moment you arrive there, you're not going to pass. So why go? Just say, I'm sorry, I appreciate the opportunity, and don't show up. But now they've got him video sitting on the ground doing crunches like a pig, and he's just sweating all over the place. It was bad. It just made him look bad. John Raider! Appreciate the love on the stars, brother. Darren Patterson, what's up? Welcome to the show. And you'd be surprised, Joey, how many guys leave the Raiders and do that. You know what I mean? I was surprised. I just didn't think quite so many Raiders would leave the team and get so mouthy. You know what I mean? But you remember the offensive lineman we had, Kelechi Osemele? Okay, and then another one, Donald Penn. They just all got, and coincidentally, all offensive linemen, Alex Leatherwood, they just all got mouthy after they left. It's like, what are you doing? Even if things went badly, shut up. I'm being honest. I had a friend of mine that's a Raider fan, and he said, but come on, man. I mean, things went so bad. How could you not be mad about how it went down and blah, blah? And I said, honestly, it's not about not being mad. Be mad, but be professional. You're still in the NFL. Or at least I'm assuming all three of them still wanted to be when they were making those statements. Let me see. Correct. They all still wanted to be in the NFL. So now that reflects on you when you go to the next job. Because now the guy at the next job, the next coach, the next owner, is looking at you kind of side-eye and saying, well, wait a minute, are you going to do that to us? If things don't work out? And the answer is yes, probably would. Greetings, Raider Bear. It might not sound like it for twice a day church services last week, all night, Saturday night, and then again on Sunday. And Monday morning can be a little tiring, so I took an extra day with my beautiful daughter and my rambunctious grandson. Perfect word association with Tommy, rambunctious. I love it. Lonnie Thumbs, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. So moving forward, I think that the running back room is better than it's being given credit for. I just want to say that. There's a couple of things going on right now where they're talking about problems that we have, what are the biggest areas to address, and they're still talking about running back, cornerback, and that's really it so much. You're still hearing a little whispers about, come on, can we give it better at linebacker? But I think the move for Tommy Eichenberg kind of said that. We kind of said that out loud. And then now with free agency still looming, we can still go into free agency, still sign a nice linebacker from someone somewhere. You can make a trade potentially. And then you'd have an upgraded linebacker room. Because if we bring in an all-pro linebacker, if we can find, even if it's an older one, if we can bring in an all-pro linebacker, all the other linebackers' game rises up to that. You know what I mean? It's always been that way. No, Jason Morales, I have absolutely nothing against the Navy or any other service to our country. None. Kim Calhoun! Kim, I love that profile picture. Never change it. Never. What's your pick for starting quarterback? John Raider Ivy, my pick is AOC. I think AOC is going to do it. Now, do I think Gardner Minshew may even outplay him some, and yet maybe they still go with AOC and look at Gardner Minshew as a capable backup? Now, there are those that would argue that you don't bring in Gardner Minshew unless it's to start. I disagree with that. Now, the only reason I say that is because, to me, Gardner Minshew is what he is. If you really look at his career thus far, he is a backup, but he's an extremely good backup that's had success. He has that Ryan Fitzmagic about him, where he's got a lot of guts, he brings it onto the field with him, and he's not scared. And we all saw what he did for the Colts when Max Crosby was trying to run him into the ground, calling him a little ass boy about 15 times, and he stood to the test and beat us. I mean, to me, if you can't beat him, join him. You know what I mean? So come on in, Gardner Minshew. We need, help at the position. But if AOC matures, it's going to be his job to lose. Dustin King and Steven Shaw. Appreciate the lot of love because a lot of Raider information is coming right now. Oh, we still have a lot to tell you. John Raider Ivy said Gallup may not even make the roster. Well, John, of course that's a possibility. You gave him a 1-year, $3 million deal to a guy that has an injury history. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's perfect, but at the same time, the guy does have potential. If he can put it all together for us, and remember, we're only giving him 1 year for $3 million. So we'll see. But I get your skepticism. John Raider Ivy. And though he may be skeptical of my opinion, he still gave me stars. And I appreciate the love. Armando Medrano, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. See, now I'm missing the backwards hat on look. It started to wear on me. Although having the misses in your shot is just as good. Tom Shepard, any news on the Raiders holding training camp in Costa Mesa? I live about 10 minutes away. Tom, that's dope. And, honestly, I have not heard if that's finished yet, set in stone, but, we'll see when we see. Travis Kelly, I'll report it as soon as they report it. Stetson Bennett was a walk-on at Georgia, transferred a year ago to JUCO and won a championship. Transferred back to Georgia, went back-to-back national champion. He got arrested for public drunkenness in Dallas, Texas, but was taken still by the Rams. He's back this year, backup Matt Stafford. Well, Stetson Bennett, he'll be all right. I don't think he's ever going to be like a serious starter or anything like that, but he'll be all right. Let's see. Sean Scott, I don't see that happening. I don't see that happen. Oh, look, a feather, salt and pepper beard, brother. What's up, brother? I don't see that happening. If it was going to happen, it probably would have happened a little bit before now. Is it possible? I mean, of course it's possible, but as a rule, a team, when they're done with a player, they're done with that player. Even if you do get a coaching regime, unless the owner's gone, usually it doesn't happen. Best defensive player for the Raiders all time. Jack Tatum. Fast Willie Brown. Gotta throw Howie Long in there. Let's see. Our base offense is going to be 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, 1 running back, and quarterback 1. Lucky Pace, or I keep wanting to add that I. Lucky Pace. Lucky, not only is that correct, but it's we've been talking about it now. I understand that. I know you're saying that more for our viewers. But to be quite honest with you, I'm excited about it. I don't understand why more people aren't excited about it. In fact, I can quote Tim Brown, who was at a recent golfing event. I started to say charity golfing event, but I'm not sure of that. It was a golfing event. I know it was something scheduled. Anyway, he was pulled aside by one of the reporters, and they went to some nice golf questions first, and then they said to him, what did he think of the move to bring in Brock Bowers, which I thought was interesting because they could have went anywhere with the conversation. Could have just asked him where he thought the Raiders would finish this year. Could have asked him what he thinks of Antonio Pierce, and on and on and on. Instead, he went right to the Brock Bowers pick. So Tim Brown kind of smiled and he said, honestly, and he said it fast. I was impressed by this. He didn't think about it. It didn't look like the question caught him off guard. He said, I like the pick. He said, we know with the offensive coordinator that we brought in that we're going to run the ball, and you need a 2 tight end set to run that offense so you can run your play action and throw the ball. And then he stopped talking. And I was like, Tim Brown just realized he was kind of letting a little bit too much out of the bag. And he was. So, I had to laugh when I saw that, but good stuff. And now, without further ado, I would like to introduce to you that woman that needs no introduction. Yes, I did reach the wrong way the first time. Shut up and stop laughing, everyone.
He's licking my leg.
That woman that needs no introduction, but has one of the best in the business. The dog just wants to be more like me. That red-headed lady of rage, woo, the Mama Bear!
Everything's working good?
Yeah, except me. Armando Medrano!
You're so little.
Maybe I'll call him He's Cool, though, because it just sort of goes right with Medrano. Armando, he's so cool, though. What's your thoughts on the pickups at O-line from the Saints and the defensive end we recently signed? I believe the O-line was a 3-time previous Pro Bowler. Yes, his name's Ash something. I forget his last name. But dude is bad. He is bad. And it gives us that backup help for Colton Miller. And it gives us depth at left tackle because the guy can ball. And I think maybe they might be concerned about Colton Miller moving forward. His injury wasn't I'm trying to find just the right way to say this. His injury that he was rehabbing last year that went all the way through the season is not career ending, but it's not mild. Does that make sense? And so I think some of it might involve his back. And if that's the case, there's no telling where this goes. Because it's almost impossible to re-aggravate. It's almost impossible not to re-aggravate back issues if you're a lineman, offensive or defensive, because everything goes into your back. Everything about every collision goes into your back. It goes into your back and then through your legs. Everything. And so it could mean that he might be in trouble. Colton Miller might be in trouble, or at least they may perceive it that way. Bear, I never heard of that, so please explain why on earth Jamarcus Russell was allowed to come back into the Raiders facility, and whose stupid idea was that? I think it was more Mark Davis and John Gruden just saying, why not, what the hell? You know what I mean? Okay, I'm sorry, Travis, I didn't answer your question in completion, so I brought it back up just for one more second. So I like all the moves on the offensive line. The defensive end we recently signed, I'm concerned about the defensive end we signed, not because of whether he can play or not, but because it takes away from whether or not we're going to re-sign Malcolm Koonce. Because remember, Malcolm Koonce is looking for a deal. This is the last year he's in right now of his career. Now, normally, if you're a vested veteran, and he is, vested meaning he's been with us this whole time, and veteran, you normally don't let them play through their final year unless you're letting them go. You see what I mean? That way he's an unrestricted free agent when he ends the season. And he's on like a prove-it deal to other teams because he knows that he's not going to be with the Raiders if they're letting him play through his final year. So I think that there's a chance that they're letting him go. Now, I would honestly say that was a mistake for this reason. Malcolm Koonce, to me, evolved a little bit. But more importantly, when Antonio Pierce showed belief in him, he exploded for 8 touchdowns in 9 games. This is a guy that was riding your bench, that the fans were writing off as a bust, that John Gruden had given up on, that McDaniels wouldn't let off the bench barely. And then Antonio Pierce goes to the guy and says, get in there. And then he starts running through plays, and then the kid's going to come off the field, and Antonio's like, what are you doing? Get back out there. And really gave him an opportunity, and the kid just went, let's go, okay, and took off. 8 sacks in 9 games in a mid-year show of confidence by the new coach, and he does that. And he did that with just Max. Now, well, we still had Adam Butler and John and Malcolm Jenkins, the lineman we signed, okay, but now you've got Tyree Wilson not hurt anymore. Because remember, he was coming off of a foot surgery last year. He was playing through pain and things like that. Then, it started to get really healed toward the end of the year. He started really playing well against the run. And now they think they're going to unlock his potential now with Christian Wilkins coming over from the Dolphins, one of the best interior defensive tackles in all of football. And he's going to take Tyree Wilson under his wing. How do we know? Because he said so. Which is probably about the coolest thing a veteran can do. Coming onto a team, knowing he's going to be, playing with this young player. I thought that was awesome. And he literally said, I'm going to unlock that guy. Raider Speedy, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Appreciate your service. Benny Arriaga, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. You need to be professional when auditioning for a job, especially in the NFL. Exactly. And your stuff goes with you. John Raider Ivy said Minshew will start. Honestly, I'm not saying Minshew won't start. I'm saying I think that AOC can beat him out. I really do. Loving the competition at wide receiver, I completely agree. Hey, Bear, what if Bradley plays flawless in preseason and AOC and Minshew look just a peg below? Do you think AP would still go with experience at quarterback even though it was the preseason? Yes, and the only reason I believe that is, although I believe the kid, Gus Bradley's son that we picked up, although I think he's going to be nice, even people around Bradley, if you read about him, are saying that he's going to need a little time. He needs a little time. He understands the NFL because of his dad, but that still doesn't prepare you for the NFL physicality level. So we got to let him get there. But I think his mind could be right there with AOC right now because of his pedigree with his dad, having burned NFL news and information into him for years. Let's see. Eric Jett. Let me see here. Eric Jett said Jack Jones put it together for us. Hopefully Gallup will also. Guys, we're all Raider fans, okay? I think sometimes we forget because we're in this era and not that era. Is the Raiders were the team that always would reach for that guy that everyone says ain't got it no more. And if that guy comes in for an interview and passes physical and looks at our guys and says, I can do this. I still got it. They don't believe in me, but I still got it. The Raiders will sign you to the dotted line and say, go put on the silver and black and go show people what you got still. You know what I mean? I love that. Steven Shaw! Now, the reason I said the running back room is settled is because I think White, our nicknamed running back Zeus, I think Zeus, I honestly think that the year that he had behind Josh Jacobs, I think that was huge. I think the 2 seasons he had behind him were huge. I think now he's already felt what the game feels like. He already feels the speed. Then with Antonio Pierce, when he was given an opportunity, he ran for 140 yards, guys. 140 yards. Now, obviously, we're in the era of offense in the NFL, but you put up 140 yards against any NFL team, you're legit. You know what I mean? If it had only been like 88, 90 yards, I'd say, okay, he had a good game. Could have been better. But 140, I think it was 145, actually. But you're up in the 140, you know what I mean, with Zamir White. The guy showed he can do it. You know what I mean? That's good enough. Then from now on, just give us 88 yards here, 120 here, 89 yards here, 75 yards there, then 125 explosion, 2 touchdowns. That's plenty, man. That's plenty. We don't need a Pro Bowler. We just need good. You know what I mean? Real good. And then every once in a while, an explosion of talent. For example, against teams that are bad against the run, I want to see it. I want to see that 140-yard game again. You know what I'm saying? Jesse Parker, the the Bears fashion designer. Oh, Jesse, I swear to you, I can't. I got to start posting the stories. I've already had 2 other guys tripping off the Rick and Morty shirt you made me. I'm like, no, you can't have this. Well, where'd you buy it? I didn't buy it anywhere. I love doing that to people. They're like, wait a minute, come on, just tell us what the site is. It's jesseparker.com. Look it up. You won't find it. Steven Shaw, one more time. I appreciate you, brother. It's all a formality. The Raiders will be in Costa Mesa. That's what I've heard too, John. I just don't like reporting things until, it's really dealt with. Dirty Eric 1500, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. I like that. Anna Diaz Rincon, my first supporter ever. If you look right down there next to the blue thumbs up, there's a green badge. If you click on that, you're on your way to subscribe to Raider Bear Live. And I like to tell people all the time, if you really want to find a way to give to charity, this is the way to do it. Because if you subscribe to Raider Bear Live, we use stars and subscription fees to go directly to charities like the Kind Fund and St. Jude's and Early Onset Cancer. And we've been really doing a lot. We're way past $7,000 now. We're approaching 10,000. On what's been almost 2 years. It's taken us almost 2 years to reach that because we got off to a really fast start. It slowed down a little bit. Now we're picking right back up again with St. Jude's. Ted Hendricks, Will Nanoff, that's a good one. I did say Howie Long, Eric Jett. You can't forget Big Ben Davidson, Jim, good call. Charlie Woodson, Eric Jett, that's a good one. Lyle Alzado, he was nuts. William Brown, welcome to the show. No player in the history of the league has blocked more kicks than Ted Hendrickson. He was a freak. Yeah, super tall and had great timing. I did see where the Raiders may be going back to Cali for training camp and abandoning the Henderson facility, correct. Which seemed strange, but okay. You built that gigantic, beautiful facility and now suddenly a year or so goes by and you don't want to use it? I thought that was weird. Don Wally D, what's up? Welcome to the show. I'll just keep investigating it. Oh, is Raging Raider Rhino in the house? What's up? Welcome to the show, little brother. Mama Bear! Dirty Eric said hello. She'll be like, who? Later on after the show. With Colton Miller, I thought it was his shoulder. No, Colton Miller, he's had back and forth issues with the back. It just hasn't been injury, so they don't report it like that. I've always heard them say he had this injury and he deals with back issues from here and there. I think that because if it was just his shoulder, you don't bring in competition for that because that's competition. And you notice we've been bringing in guards and right tackles like crazy, but never looking at Colton Miller's position, in part because Thayer Munford, too. Thayer Munford can slide right over and play left tackle. So I'm surprised that they're paying this much attention to the offensive line, and I'm enjoying it because it's just one more way that Tom Telesco is earning my respect immediately. I thought his draft was excellent. I thought how it went down was excellent. I thought the holes that he was filling, both of need but also highest talent available, that offensive lineman, Jackson Powers Johnson, wow. So, very nice. Marquez Nixon, let's go! What's up, Marquez? Andrus Pete, the offensive lineman, Pete. Sorry. I don't know where I came up with Ash. I seen where like 5 defensive players were on last year as contracts this year. Do you see us re-signing at least Spillane and Kuntz? Spillane, yes. Kuntz, I'm not sure. I felt like the move to pick up the defensive lineman in free agency may have been to fill the Kuntz hole. Wouldn't it be foolish to let Kuntz go? Personally, I think yes. Honestly, it messes with morale on the team when you let go of a guy who's been working and working and working, and it seems like every year is getting better. Then he has this explosion, and then you let him go? And don't get me wrong, his value's high right now, but it's not like we're doing it to facilitate a trade or something like that. We're not going to get anything from it. So I don't know if I agree with it. I think it's a dumb move. They should re-sign him. Fide Galvan, what's up there? Hope all is well. Thoughts on wide receiver from the Chargers? Guyton, I think it's spelled. Yeah, I like him. He got spot duty, but when he got opportunities, he played well. 6'1", 210 pounds. So good size. I like him as a possession receiver. I doubt we need any more depth of, going deep speed receivers because we're pretty solid there. So, yeah. The Michael Gallup thing, Fide Galvan, I loved it. I thought $3 million, that's just lunch money. So, and it's only for a year, prove it deal. So we see what he's got. If he's got it, good. If he doesn't, adios. Good luck with your next job if you can get one. I hear we got 2 comp picks next year. Any idea what round? No. About what round? Yes, you're correct. It's 2. But they're probably going to be fairly decent comp picks. I would say that. Two tight end sets that can catch is going to open up the defense for runs. Well, it's going to open up the defense for everything. That's the idea, is it's a misdirection offense that can do whatever it wants. It can throw left to the tight end. It can throw right to the tight end because you're going to have them on either side of the field. You can decide which side you want to work to that way. You can also run the ball more because you have those effective pass blocking tight ends because they come in as skilled, prepared, ready to go, complete tight ends that understand blocking but do it well in addition to understanding it. Whereas when we had a guy like Darren Waller, he was a converted wide receiver. He did not understand blocking. He did not understand blocking stances. He didn't understand his responsibility changing in certain places when they would audible. It was just a mess. And so the Giants have our mess. And it ain't working out for him there either. Don Wally D, I don't think it's going to be the wishbone, but great profile picture, by the way. I don't think it's going to be the wishbone, but I think it's going to be a version of that and the I formation. And they're just going to show different looks out of it. Okay, Fide Galvan, first and foremost, you do not like the Dylan Laube pick as much as the Bear. Likes the Dylan Laube pick, okay? Dylan Laube walks on water. He did it when he was born. No, it's true. I'm just spreading Dylan Laube, legendary rumors. Some true, some false maybe. Like once I heard that he caught the lightning bolt of Zeus. Look, the kid is great. He's great, and he may only be here for special teams, but he's going to be more than that. Just watch. I'm telling you. I've already brought this up to people, and they're like, Bear, come on. He's just a guy they just grab. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right, think that. Watch. So you got to understand, you don't go off what they did in college. The only takeaways you can really make from what a guy did in college is, what is his heart like? What is his physical speed? Is he strong? That's about it. Everything else you get is that coach's ideas and that coach's implementations from that university. It tells you almost nothing. You have to really get around those things and see who's going to blossom at the next level, who has the skill set now that I can bring to the NFL or polish to where it becomes NFL quality. And if I'm able to do that, then